You know the vibes. www.daymcomic.com, DAYMCOMIC.com. Click the link below. Order your comic books right now. They're dropping in a few months. Don't be without one.
What's going on, guys? Antonio here. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up for me, and let's get into it. All right, so Lifetime released an updated version of Highway to Heaven, the old TV series from the 80s that starred Michael Landon. My mom, I always talk about my mom. My mom loved those shows. You know, she would watch like Little House on the Prairie, and then she was glued to Bonanza. So those are both obviously shows that Michael Landon starred in. And then he, of course, had Touched by an Angel, which he actually owned that show. He produced it and, through his production company and the whole nine. But she loved Touched by an Angel and Murder, She Wrote and all these different shows. But Highway to Heaven was especially, I don't think we would get a show like Touched by an Angel without Highway to Heaven. So Highway to Heaven had done it and, did over 100 episodes. What was it? Michael Landon played Jonathan Smith, the angel, and, he was out there doing his thing. We have a new angel. That's one thing I liked about this one. It's a thumbs up for me. There were a couple of things that I would nitpick on it, but I was surprised at how well it was. It wasn't preachy and woke. They had a couple things in there that kind of maybe like, I was like, oh, here. I'm so trepidatious when I go into watching these television shows now because I was like, okay, they're about to set me up with some kind of weird stuff about gender non-binary this or whatever, and who uses what pronouns, and this is what television is in 2021. And so a show like Highway to Heaven, I just want them to tell a story and and just get me up out of there. And I think they did. They executed it quite nicely. I saw some ratings for it on IMDb, and it had when I checked just within the last hour, it was at like a 7.6 on IMDb. Don't know what the television ratings were. I'm curious to see what those are, because, like I said, I thought the show was very well executed. Our new angel is, of course, Angela Stewart, who is portrayed by the amazing Jill Scott, who I'm a huge fan of Jill Scott's. She had a show about 10, 11 years ago that was shot, I think they shot it in South Africa, in Johannesburg. It was called The Number One Ladies Detective Agency, which is based on, there were like 3 or 4 hit novels, like New York Times bestselling novels, called The Number One Ladies Detective Agency. They had different things. And they shot, I think the first Number One Lady Detective Agency was just a movie on HBO, and then it ended up becoming a season, which I think they only did like 2 seasons on it or whatever. It's on, you can catch them on HBO Max, but Number One Ladies Detective Agency with Jill Scott was fantastic. I was a little concerned when I saw that they were making Highway to Heaven over again. Again, they had the cooperation of the Michael Landon estate. His widow, what's her name, Cindy, signed over rights for them to make these. Her 2 of Michael's children, Michael Landon Jr. and Christopher Landon, which I know Christopher Landon's a screenwriter. He wrote, there's a movie called Disturbia that came out about 15 years ago or something. He wrote the screenplay to that. So Christopher Landon and his brother Michael Landon Jr. Were both executive producers on this new Highway to Heaven. It looks like, based on everything, the way they set it up, they're going to do this as a series of Highway to Heaven movies, because the way they ended Highway to Heaven, this one, it's clear that they are planning to make more. So, and I'm not mad at that. I thought, like I said, I thought it was very well. I thought Jill Scott was fantastic. sometimes these shows get into these kind of the new television era kind of gets into this kind of woke narrative where they go, okay, we're gonna race and gender swap everybody, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, blah blah, diversity, inclusion, all the buzzwords. Jill Scott's done a couple things for Lifetime in the past. There was something about the Flint water crisis. She did a movie. She actually got nominated for an Emmy for that. I think it was just called Flint or something like that. But she did that movie. They did, I think it was 2012. They did a race swapped version of Steel Magnolias. If you've seen Steel Magnolias, I think Dolly Parton was in that. But they did Steel Mag. I think Julia Roberts, and it's been so long since I've seen that. And I got to be honest, I wasn't the target audience for that. I wasn't the target audience for the white version or the black version. So it's not something that I'm like, there were a couple of movies around that time. There was another movie called Fried Green Tomatoes, and they were just, what was it, Bette Midler and Barbara Hershey and Beaches. There were all these movies that just kept coming. It was like, they all seemed to be, you could just almost interchange the titles. It just be like, this movie is not for you. But they decided, it's like, hey, let's remake Steel Magnolias, and instead of a white cast, we're going to have an all-black cast. So Jill Scott was one of the people in the Steel Magnolias Lifetime movie. One of the other co-stars was, of course, Queen Latifah. Queen Latifah, who was, of course, on the hit. I have to say it's a hit because, matter of fact, I think they're about to get renewed for season 3. The Equalizer, which airs on CBS and has been getting really solid ratings. They're averaging about 7 million viewers on Sunday nights on CBS, The Equalizer, but she's the female version of The Equalizer. So yeah, her and Queen Latifah were in Steel Magnolias. And then there's, I know Jill Scott also did something for BET, because they took another show. They did the First Wives Club, and they said, hey, let's do the First Wives Club and just have a black cast. So that's what they did. So Jill Scott was, of course, in the BET version of the First Wives Club. And like I said, I think they're going to do more of these Touched by an Angel. I thought the writing on why I keep saying Touched by an Angel, Highway to Heaven. The writing on Highway to Heaven was really good. I was surprised because, like I said, I was not sure if I was going to enjoy Highway to Heaven, and I sat there and watched the whole thing. I didn't have to turn it off and take a break from watching and come back to it. Sometimes when I try to watch some of these movies, I go, okay, I can't get through this, and then I had to come back. I had to gather myself. But I thought Highway to Heaven was very well done. I thought I liked the way Jill played the angel. It was really cool. But Jill Scott's very likable. She lives. I've known this for a few years, but she actually lives not too far from me over in Franklin. She's like 40 minutes away. She's not that far, so it's like I can be at her house in less than an hour if I was invited for tea and crumpets or something. But yeah, it's definitely, again, a recommend. It wasn't too much crazy woke stuff in there. There's little things about the plot that I could nitpick, but that's any. I could go watch the original Highway to Heaven and find little problems that I had with, different things or whatnot. But I thought the show was really, with the person that plays the angel helper, Michael Landon had a human that was helping him on his event. I can't remember that guy's name. But Jill Scott's human helper is played by this guy, Barry Watson, who's, I don't know. I saw he had a couple acting credits. The last thing I saw him in that I remembered, he played Rupert Murdoch's older son on The Loudest Voice, which is on show. You can still watch that on Showtime. It's Russell Crowe portraying Roger Ailes. So you have Russell Crowe in his role as Roger Ailes, and they basically, spend a few. It's a mini series. They spend a couple episodes basically showing how Roger Ailes, was pretty much on the forefront of the Me Too movement and why the Me Too movement exists and whatnot. But Barry Watson played Rupert Murdoch's son, one of his boys in the loudest voice. But Barry Watson, I liked him in this as well. But again, definite thumbs up for me on Highway to Heaven, starring Jill Scott. If you saw it, or because like I said, if you got on demand, I have Xfinity, so I was able to just pop it, type it in and watch it on demand. It's still up. It's kind of got a holiday theme that's going into Christmas on there. So, like I said, I thought it was really well done. If you peeped it out, I would be very interested to see what you thought of it. If you enjoyed it, if you didn't enjoy it, tell me what you didn't like. I'm out. PlaceTheBets.com, guys. Are you tired of crapping out on sites like Fanduel and Draftkings? Go to PlaceTheBets.com. Set your fantasy lineup. Baseball, football, basketball, hockey. They got them all. They'll set your lineup. 30 days is only $1. You can go. You can sign up right now. That 30 days is only $1. PlaceTheBets.com and get that Skrilla. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and please check out my podcast at anchor.fm/AkariPress, or just type in Akari Press on your favorite streaming platform today.